Integrated staging. What is it? Is it different to partial staging? We'll answer these questions today, as well as show you some examples. And make sure to stick around to the end of the episode where we answer a question about buying furniture on a smaller budget. This is Foxy TV, episode 150. Let's get straight into things. I start by asking Phoebe, what is partial staging?
Not partials. We don't call them partial. Integrated styling is what we call it. I can thank Imogen from Home Staging Brisbane for that. I really love the term. To be able to change it from partial styling, which for us now is when we only do a master bedroom and living bedrooms empty. Integrated styling is when we're integrating our pieces in with somebody else's. So they're living there, or we're using existing furniture, they've moved out, and then blending our pieces together. So we're integrating it. So that's the difference between the two. When we started out, integrated styling is something that we did a lot of. Like the bulk of our work was integrated styling. I love it. It's a lot harder work to get to the end point. There's a lot more involved for us and for the vendor, but the end point, having the vendor come through and fall back in love with their home, it's worth it every minute that we put into it. However, as a business, as the business has grown, we're now attracting more of a vacant property clientele than we are integrated. I think the clients themselves are also finding it's just easier to leave and have a blank canvas for their home and have it set brand new for the new owners. They can give it a coat of paint and everything out without having to worry. So that's basically integrated styling. These two properties in particular, I pointed them out to you yesterday, Cody, as a good one, because we talk about all the time, you hear me talk all the time about how important it is for us to present a home for the home itself. So if we go into a consultation and the vendor, no, actually it's not normally the vendor, it's normally the agent tells me they want to see it as a Hamptons, they want to see contemporary fresh, they want to see Cape Cod style, and the home is a 70s brick style. We're not going to, we can't present it that way because it's not doing the home justice, and in actual fact it brings the home, it decreases the feel, the value. Honestly, you won't get the same price for it. That's these two properties in particular. We've gone with one as a retro style that you'll see Bianca was at this morning. And the other one is a very well-loved, would have been more of a cottage back in its day. Now it's a little bit more colonial style home. The owner's gone to great lengths to put in lots of storage. She had 7 kids in that house. Hats off to her. So phenomenal. So it's a 3-bedroom house, to give you some perspective on that. So amazing storage. But just the story behind the home, we didn't want to, like, we could have, I told her to take down those bookshelves. We could have told her to get rid of those light fixtures, the gold and the frosted glass. You could have told her to take out all the inbuilt cupboards that she's put in that she's so proud of, that have that story, but we didn't. The only thing I've asked the client to do, the blinds that were in that property, that's the only thing that we've told Julie, the owner, to take down. They were very well loved. Very, very well loved blinds, so they needed to come down. Everything else we've incorporated because it gives the home a story, it gives it personality, but not personality that's polarizing. And I think that's the most important part with integrated styling, to figure out what to get rid of that is going to turn away buyers, but also figure out what to keep so that it's memorable at the end of the day and they remember that home. So you'll see the retro one, I think it was really cool, and I love that we didn't switch it out. Owner did switch out the light fittings, but only because she wants to keep the light fittings in a new property. So we've got some more generic ones that are in there. It's still gorgeous, still work with the house, but some people could have come through and told her to get rid of that kitchen. They could have told her to get rid of the funky tiles in the bathroom. We've worked in with it and you can see the end result is awesome. So she has some gorgeous retro pieces. It was a no-brainer to go down the retro path, especially with that kitchen. That was a tricky one for Bea to pull together because it's not a style that she's done before, and it's basically, the retro style itself is a whole heap of colours that don't go together. You pull them together and it works beautifully. You match patterns together that don't work. Textures aren't really a thing for retro. It's definitely about colour and pattern, and it came together beautifully. So I can't wait to see that one photograph.
I hope you enjoyed that information on integrated staging. To finish the episode, we are going to hear from Phoebe again about a question we received on Facebook. I was just wondering if you budget when buying furniture. If so, what is your process? And what would be your best budget advice for a smaller company?
We definitely do budget. It's one of the first things that Jake implemented. It's really important to know your numbers. So you can't just go spend as much as you can on a piece of furniture just because you love it, because it's not going to make sense as a business purchase. So for us, we made the decision initially that we wanted it to be paid over 2.5 installs. As the market for furniture has increased in cost, given COVID, everything like that, and it's sitting at the 3 installs now. So basically for us, we want a piece of furniture to be fully paid off after 3 installations, and that sets the pricing for me. So for example, coffee tables sit at $500 per coffee table, occasional chairs are $500, dining chairs are $150 each, bedside tables are $150 each. It gives me a number to set myself to. If I've got premium level stock, obviously that's going to be a different price point, but it's also hired out at a different price point. So again, it's paid off after 3 installations. Same as our artwork, everything is figured out at a higher cost to be paid off at that price, and that's where I purchase it. As a smaller business, I think it's super important to do that. I guess at the very start, to be very transparent, we didn't do that. We basically set our pricing to match our supplier and then sort of built our pricing from there, because obviously we didn't want to undercut ourselves or be making a profit off somebody unnecessarily at the start until we really learned what it was about. And so that's where we sort of started off.
That is it for episode 150 of Foxy TV. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here next week.